Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 31 of Heard You Like Me, and this one is titled Out With It. There was nothing unusual about your float driver. He was just thinking random things and wondering when he could get out of the truck. It appeared, judging by his thoughts, that he had been sat in it waiting a while before the event even started, and he was well and truly over it by now. I feel you, man. You thought, as you deactivated and tuned into the driver of the float behind you, Mina's float. It was a woman driver, and she was admiring all the food stalls and food trucks along the side of the main road, remembering which ones she wanted to go to once they had finished their parade, and you smiled to yourself. This would have been you if you were the float driver. "Oh, donuts on a stick?" you heard her say in her mind. "They put everything on a stick these days and call it food. Maybe I could start up something like that." You deactivated from her to move to the last float. Humans are such simple creatures, you thought, as you tuned into the next driver, who was also a female, and you paused when you heard her first line. "Oh, geez, I really don't feel good. Did I forget to take my meds this morning?" she asked herself. "Hello, what's happening here?" you wondered, listening in a little more pointedly so that you could erase as much static from the line as possible. "Oh, I really need to get some sugar into me, otherwise I'm going to hypo," she thought again, and you looked back at Jirou and then up to the truck to look at the driver. She had a very pensive look on her face, and you glanced around to make sure everything was good before calling back to Mina. "Hey Mina, might need a twerk situation soon," you called to her. For a second she was confused, but then she caught on and looked around. "What's happened?" she called. Oh no. You heard the driver of Jirou's float panic internally, and you looked at her again, seeing her facial expressions dropping as she passed out and slumped over the steering wheel. As soon as her chest hit the steering wheel, it activated the truck horn, which was a good and bad thing, since it brought attention to the situation. But then again, it brought attention to the situation, which meant that instead of only you and your hero pals knowing something was wrong, everyone along the sides of the road also knew something was wrong, so now there was screaming and yelling going on, which only made the panic in the crowd worse. "She's had a sugar low, I think," you yelled to Mina. "We need to stop the truck." "On it," Mina called, but before she could do anything, the truck suddenly swerved to the left. "Jirou!" you shouted, watching the truck turn towards her. "Look out!" But her thoughts were on the safety of the crowd to her left, and she put her hand out to supposedly stop the truck from running the barricades, but you knew already that wasn't going to help one bit. Turning and sprinting back to her, you ran in front of the truck and grabbed her and then threw her to the side as you stumbled and fell, doing one roll before the truck ran over your leg. With a scream of pain, you tried to move more out of the way, but the truck suddenly stopped then, and Jirou picked herself up and came running back to help drag you further away. "What happened?" she asked as she half dragged you away from the truck. The driver got a low blood sugar and passed out," you said. Man. You groaned, trying not to look at your mashed leg that was lying crooked behind you. "Yin!" Mina called as she jumped out of the now stopped truck and ran over to you. "I wasn't fast enough to get in and stop the truck before it hit you. I'm so sorry." "It's okay. You did well," you replied with a wince. "Is everyone okay?" Yeah, I think so," Mina replied, looking up to where the truck had run the barricade over but hadn't gone too far. "Go and make sure the people are okay," you grunted. "And call an ambulance for the driver." "Oh, yes, on it," Mina replied. "Yin, I'm so sorry," Jirou said as she knelt beside you. "If I hadn't been standing there, you wouldn't be hurt." It is what it is," you replied with a grimace. "I'll be fine. Who's the nurse on site at school, recovering woman or something?" you asked. Recovery girl," Jirou replied. "Yeah, her. I've heard she can make anything better with a kiss, so I'll just go to her," you grimaced. Man, might need help getting there though." Just then Momo and the hero arrived to see what had happened, and you were added to the casualties list, and an ambulance came to take you back to school to have your legs seen to by Recovery Girl. The other girls helped to get everything else sorted and helped those who were still on the main street, but thankfully there were no other casualties that day, and the lady who had had a sugar low turned out to be a diabetic, and this had happened to her a number of times. Her license was suspended immediately for the time being until she could see a doctor about getting her medication dosages right. Back at the school grounds, you were seen to promptly and kissed better and then left to recover while Recovery Girl wrote up her notes. A good hour later, you were just coming around again when you heard Mina, Jirou and Momo at your curtains. "Ah, the heavenly choir has arrived," you called. "Are you awake, Yin?" Mina asked, poking her head through the curtains. "Amazingly," you replied. "I checked out for a bit there, but at least my leg isn't broken anymore." "Oh, good," she said, as she stepped into the room and Momo and Jirou followed behind her. You felt kinda awkward with both of your girl crushes standing side by side, but you did your best not to show the awkwardness on your face. "So, how'd everything go out there?" you then asked, referring to the rest of the parade proceedings out on the main street. "Yeah, good," Mina replied. "We managed to finish the parade and the stalls were opened, and that's when we left to the rest of the police and we got to get out and come here and check on you." I bought you some food," Jirou said as she pulled a plastic bag out from behind her back. You smiled at her. You know just how to make me feel better," you said as she walked over and placed the plastic bag of food beside you on the bed. You then chatted a little more with the girls before Mina excused herself and left, leaving you, Momo and Jirou all in the room together. Well, Momo said after an awkward few minutes. "I guess I should go too." She went to leave, but you called out to her to stop her. Wait, Momo. I think we all need to have a talk," you said, looking at Jirou. "Oh no, is this the breakup?" Jirou thought. No, it's not, but it's definitely a clear the air type of situation," you replied to her inner thoughts. What do we need to talk about?" Momo asked as she turned around to face you and Jirou. "Us. All of us," you said. "Momo, you know that Jirou and I are together, but you also know that 2 days ago I told you I liked you, and Jirou knows that I like you, and you also feel like you shouldn't have turned me down. But since we're putting everything out there, Jirou, I think you should come clean too," you added. "There's someone you liked too?" Jirou looked down and then back up at Momo. I liked you," she said. "I'm gay, like Yin," she added. "Oh," Momo said with surprise. "You're very popular," you said with a chuckle to Momo. "But listen, the reason I'm putting all this out there is so that we can come to some kind of agreement here, because Momo, as you can imagine, me being in your room with you has Jirou feeling a little uncomfortable, which is totally understandable, seeing as you've now said that you're somewhat interested in me. But on the flip side, I don't want to just move out and make you feel like there's discord between us, because first and foremost, you're my friend. So what do you say we do?" Momo looked at you and then Jirou, and Jirou looked at you and then Momo. I really don't know," Momo said softly. "All I know is that I really like Yin, and I won't give her up for anyone," Jirou replied. "Well, I like Yin too, so remember that," Momo suddenly added, and the two girls looked at each other. Hey, whoa now, come on, this wasn't supposed to be a fight. I was looking for a solution here," you said emphatically. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been sending up positivity and prayers into the ethos, into the universe to get my voice back on track. I feel like I'm like 97% there. Hopefully didn't mess up the recording too much, but yes. And there ends chapter 31. It looks like we're on the road to recovery for Momo, Yin and Jirou, and also for my voice. It's a recovery on both ends. And I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 32. See you then.